Welcome to Inner Mastery, and today I want to talk about something that may give you a little bit more purpose, a little bit more meaning. Now, when we use these words, purpose and meaning, we kind of use them to give us a sense of knowing what is going on, right? We ask ourselves this question a lot: what is this? What is going on? And so that's the question that I want to address to you, and hopefully by responding to some of these concepts, we can give ourselves a feeling of more meaning and purposefulness, okay? So, notice where I am right now. We're at the Friss Center in Nashville. This is an art museum, okay? So, the entire purpose, if you will, the purpose of this building is to give you a place to enjoy art, a place where you can walk around and look at cool shit, okay? So as you're going around and walking around, looking at these things, you're fulfilling the purpose of that building, okay? So as someone who comes here and, pays to enter and walks around, your purpose as that person who is, coming here is to enjoy, is to appreciate the art that is in the area, okay? So, do you see where I'm going with this? This building has a purpose, and you, while in it, have a purpose as well, okay? And this can be applied to many other places all across the world. For example, think of the nightclub. A lot of you guys go into these places feeling totally overwhelmed, unable to think, scared, and you're thinking, I'm unable to enjoy myself. And yet, the entire purpose of that building was made so you could enjoy yourself. Now, do you see where I'm going with this? We are walking into this building and letting the environment dominate us. The environment becomes something that is too much to handle, even though that place was made for you and for your enjoyment. Now, these places, nightclubs and art museums, they are places that you need to remember are there for you, okay? But what about a bigger context, right? What about the entire game of life that we're playing right now? What about all of this? Going back to that question, what is all this? What are we doing, right? Well, that gets a little bit more complex. We can point to the building and we can say, somebody made this for this purpose. And then we can act the way we're supposed to act in those environments, therefore fulfilling our purpose, enjoying, appreciating, doing whatever it is that we should do in that place. But here on Earth, in these societies, in this thing we call life, in this experience of existing, there isn't really a defined purpose. Now, we have many beliefs about the origins of, this reality, but we can never really point to an exact, definitive, reason for its structure. Not the same way that we can point to, the Friss Center and say, this building, this magnificent place was made specifically for your appreciation, right? So we're sort of at an impasse, right? How can we start to look for purpose and meaning if we don't know, what all this is for, right? So what I'm going to draw for you now is another way of looking at this reality so that you can find meaning from it, okay? Try to follow this example. When you go to that nightclub, you're there to have fun because the entire structure was made for that. What if this entire reality that we're in was also like a game that you could just play, right? Try to follow that analogy. You've heard this before, seeing life as a game. We've all heard that quote, life is a game. But go deeper with it. I invite you, please, go deeper with this. You will find meaning that you may have not seen before. When you start seeing life, as in this whole thing right here, like every bit of experience, when you start seeing it as a game, it begins to look entirely different. It begins to be something that makes much more sense. The same way that I suddenly find clarity in that nightclub when I realize its entire purpose is to give me a place to enjoy myself, when I find more ability to appreciate art, when I realize I'm in a place built for that. It's the same thing with seeing life as a game. When I realized that this entire life that I'm living in is just like a game where I can learn things and upgrade my skills and explore entire worlds and meet new funny characters, I realized the purpose and the meaning of it was suddenly clear, okay? It was to play. The meaning and the purpose of life is to play. Again, I invite you to look at this perspective. You don't have to make it your only perspective. This doesn't have to be the absolute way of looking at it. But play with that, if you will. Take it and use that as your new way of looking at things. If life is a game, and if the purpose of it is to play, what does that say for your life? What does that say for how you've been living your life? How you've been treating the other people in this game?